I watched the episode like 3 times this month. It's been 20 years, so I know that things are probably a bit like foggy in your memory, but I wanted to start with Tudgman. Sorry, that's all I know you as.
That's fine.
I remember the episode starts, they're planning the Fright Night.
Right.
What was your memory of filming those scenes?
So, and if it's an episode that doesn't involve me in the main storyline, they mainly bring me in to do a gag, and this episode was no different than that. They had me coming in and doing an impression of, Darth Vader, Chewbacca, Yoda, all very badly, but I do that, and 20 years later, Disney owns Star Wars, so you're welcome.
I remember like the episode, you're like, Hallie's, you're like, you can have the sausage, but you can't have the caviar. What was your guys' memory of that scene?
I think I just remember probably enjoying the costume a little too much. I don't think I got to keep that costume, but I think I sure as hell tried.
And Hallie, what about you?
It just, that was Matt and Joe's tone with each other. It seemed like a lot of the time, so it just seemed like another Matt Joe. See, it was funny watching it because I had not watched it since it came on the first time, and but it's weird when you watch it. I remember shooting everything when I watch it again, but I had totally forgotten everything else completely until I watched it, and then it was right back.
This is like one of those rare episodes where it's mostly you and Robert by yourselves in the episode, and then Jake goes with Lizzie to Fright Night. Can you guys walk me through your scenes? I mean, I guess that was pretty accurate to what happens for most parents.
All I remember is that because it was Fright Night and everything was involving the kids, Hallie and I just got to hang out for a few hours for like maybe 2 days on that show. We weren't there that much, were we, Hallie?
No, and it seems like we were always it was always the group, you know what I mean? When we didn't often have scenes just he and I together. So that was fun. I mean, we got to kiss and we got to, be husband and wife together, which it wasn't done ever. I mean, that was unusual now that I think about it.
Yeah, and especially the caviar, I thought that was a really nice touch on the prop department. I mean, God bless him.
This is like one of the first times that Matt's really at the school, because he's in a whole other grade, right?
Yeah, Matt's supposed to be at a totally different school. He's supposed to be in, I guess, elementary school. I'm not really sure if because Lizzie and her friends are in middle school, so he's technically in elementary school still, or just a completely school altogether. Matt didn't really get a lot of opportunities to hang out at Lizzie's school. There's one other episode where he did, but he sure as hell took advantage of being at her school each time.
Yeah, and I remember one of the things that I did remember before I even watched the show was the cup turning into, it was like lemonade and it became black like sludge. Yeah. And then you also had to eat the tamale. How often do you have to eat food? What was that like?
Eating food on set is a funny thing because most of the time the food is never actually warm or appetizing in any way. It's been sitting out for like a few hours, unless the prop department has really got your back. I don't know, I guess it sounds like Bobby and Hallie had some nice caviar that was primo, but everything else usually is not so great. So we have a spit bucket usually that's standing by. A lot of spitting into buckets in the movie business. And
that was also the first time we meet Miranda's parents. What was that? And for you guys would have that food part, you guys throw food at them, the oatmeal. Robert and Hallie, do you guys remember that? What was it like filming with them for the first time and then just throwing food at each other?
I've never liked food fights in films because it makes me feel bad, but this one felt good.
I love the fact that this episode has not one, not two, but 3 different food fight elements going on. We got Miranda's parents getting hit, we got Bobby getting hit with a pie, and then we got Kate dunking her head in some punch.
Yeah,
I didn't get that to get dirty.
That pie in the face, because that was extremely uncomfortable.
Well, and how many times do you have to do that? Because was that just a one take for getting, chicken pot pie in the face?
Knowing me, it would have been one take, because otherwise,
knowing Bobby,
I would have had to go back and change clothes and wash up and take care of my hair. And it's just like, boys, let's get this in one. That was always my attitude.
But it's less of let's get it in one, boys. It's like it happens to you, and then Bobby's like, well, did we get it? Too bad.
Think of another thing.
That's funny.
I was just happy not to have to get messy. I think when we were doing it, I was worried that he and I would be at the door together, and that I might get spray from something, residual, unintentional mess. But I didn't have to do that, so I'm very happy.
Hallie, did you ever end up with anything like thrown on you, food-wise?
Oh, are you seriously asking me that? Because in the final episode of Lizzie McGuire, how when they shoot out, I don't know if you guys are aware of this out in the world, but when a show is ending and they shoot out a character, like that's their final moment on camera for the whole production, they'll say to the crew who's ever there to go, that's a wrap on Hallie Todd, and everybody goes, yay, and hug and kiss, and all were sad, right? Hopefully sad. But for my last scene on the last episode, we were doing some sort of construction in the house. This isn't about Day of the Dead, but I can't remember what happened, but a lot of plaster fell on me and dust and debris. So my final thing was, that's a wrap on Hallie Todd, and I was covered with a lot of stuff, and so nobody hugged me. Everybody was like, yeah, okay, and it was very unmomentous, and that's my story about getting messed up on Lizzie McGuire. But I live to tell the tale, and I forgive everybody involved. But
I think I made it
messy.
I think I was like one of the few that made it through without getting some type of food or debris or something on them. I feel like
that's impressive.
I don't know.
Your
Is that
character was
possible?
always doing it though. They were doing it to other people.
That's right.
I
You
probably
were more
did to other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what other memories do you guys have of filming this particular episode?
I remember having watched it again, seeing Kate being paraded, Ashley that is, being paraded on and off set with various things smashed on her. Poor thing. I felt so bad for her, because this episode, our kids really turned it around on Kate, and she had her comeuppance.
And you got to give it to Ashley. She really committed to that head dunk and the hair flip, because I think they could only do that once.
She did a great job. Yeah, she did a great job, I thought, in this episode. When I first read it, in my recollection is usually when I would read one of the scripts, I would immediately see where they were going with it and imagine how it was going to turn out. But with this one, I couldn't picture how they were going to do everything. And is it supernatural? Is it like I'm getting through it? And then I may have missed a piece of description. So it was such a different thing in my head than what I saw when I finally saw the episode, which I thought was adorable and totally cute and funny. But I just had such a hard time understanding the effects and how they were going to play out. That was me.
Well, and even as somebody who watched it when I was younger, I'm 24 now. I probably watched it when I was 6 or 7. 4. But it was actually scary to me at the time. And then you look back and you're like, okay, it wasn't scary, but it's still really cute.
Well, when I rewatched the episode, I got scared.
Did you?
Oh, I got scared. It's a scary episode. The whole Day of the Dead thing is really freaky.
I thought it was pretty ahead of its time, actually, in a sense. Even addressing that in a television, it seems like it shouldn't have been. But but I'd never seen anything like that before. And I was a parent watching, shows along with my daughter, and I'd never seen that portrayed in a Disney or anything.
That's a really good point. I don't think if there weren't very many, but I don't think there were many other kids shows that were featuring other cultures and their versions of holidays. I grew up watching the same kind of shows as Lizzie when I was on Lizzie, and I don't think I remember seeing any other shows featuring Dias de la Muerte. So that's pretty cool. Now it's a pretty common thing, I feel like, but I think that's another thing that Lizzie was kind of paving the way on.
Nolan, was this your introduction to Dia de los Muertos? Jake?
For me, it's hard to say. It's but I feel like maybe it was. Again, because if you don't have that type of, it's representation within media. If you don't have that kind of representation to kids on their entertainment platforms and everything, then it's sometimes very hard to come by.
Well, I'm going to open up the floor. Would you guys like to share what you guys have been up to lately?
Well, I was talking to your producer, Catherine, and I've been playing with my motorcycles a lot lately. I've got 2 Triumphs, and one of them I've been riding for 40 years, and the other one I've been riding for about a year. And it's been joyous. What can I tell you? That's what I've been doing. Oh, I'm playing guitar. I've been playing some guitar. I played a concert with a ancient folk singer named Ramblin' Jack Elliott up in Big Sur a couple of weeks ago, and that was pretty exciting.
This is kind of off topic or on topic with Bobby, but I had a motorcycle accident not too long ago on the freeway where I got sideswiped by an older gentleman on the 710 freeway. And that was kind of my come to God moment where I kind of had to retire the motorcycle recently. Also, my wife helped in encouraging me to not get another one.
Oh man, I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah, it was good. I got to walk away.
Yeah, well, any accident you walk away from is a good outcome. Absolutely. Yeah. Wow. Heavy.
I'm so glad you're okay, and that's really scary. And I'm so glad that you're okay. That's
Thank you.
Just freeways and motorcycles and accidents are not good. It's like a bad, scary thing. It's scarier to me than the episode of Lizzie McGuire. But maybe because I'm a grown up. But yeah. So I would like to share that I have a film that I wrote, co-produced with my husband and my daughter, and I play a role in it, and it's called The Last Champion, and it's I have to write, or I will leave out important part, like the title of the movie, like I might forget to say that if I didn't write it down. Not kidding. So anyway, it's a family sports drama. It's available on Amazon. It's streaming on Paramount Network, and it stars Cole Hauser, who's from Yellowstone, if people are Yellowstone fans. And that's it. And it's good for the holidays. It's an inspirational and family movie. So everybody check it out.
I saw it, and it's excellent.
It is.
Thank you. And my husband, Glenn, directed it. And he did a great.
Yeah. No, you guys did really good. Really well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And it just dropped on DVD, so you can now get it on DVD and Blu-ray.
Awesome.
At all the big box stores. So, yay!
Good job, Hallie.
What about you, Jake?
I'm currently working on a video game that I'm starring in, which is my first time doing mocap stuff, which is really fun. And other than that, I direct a lot. I've been directing a lot of kids commercials, actually, for Nickelodeon, which is kind of funny. I think this, yeah, I know, really. So yeah, that's what I've kind of been doing, just directing a lot of stuff when I'm not acting.